Hello, this is 𝗙𝗏𝗟 and you're watching The Shift. And of course, we're talking about sustainability. Today's guest, we're talking about FedEx. Now, FedEx has a goal to achieve carbon neutral operations by 2040. Their global initiative, Priority Earth, is to get there, and how that's done in Malaysia and globally. But we'll talk of Malaysia. We have Woon Tien-Long, FedEx's Managing Director, newly minted. So also congratulations, FedEx is 30 years in the country.
Thank you.
But just to let us know a little bit about what's happening in Malaysia, what steps has FedEx taken to reduce your environmental impact in business, and how does that company work to minimize its overall environmental footprint?
So thank you for having me here today, Frida. It's great to be back in Malaysia. So when we look at FedEx steps, right, in Malaysia, we use our global approach, which is first, we try to reduce, replace, and re-innovate. So give you an example of reducing the use of fossil fuel, right? So as we go along, our aircraft modernizations, that's a good example of how we do it. And it's not just about Malaysia, right? Globally, how we reduce and the usage, right, through more modern aircraft. And then you come to replace. So like in Malaysia here now, we replace some of our vehicles with electric EVs. So we just launched our zero tailpipe emission vehicles this year. And that's one of the steps. And the last one is, I bet you didn't know about our packaging.
Okay.
All right, our packaging is actually 100% recyclable, and it itself is 36% of recycled materials. So the packaging you get is brand new, it looks, but it already went through first round recycle process. And that package itself can be recycled again, 100% biodegradable. So that's how we go about it. And the last is, really creating that platform of tracking our emissions.
Okay.
Right. So that's the approach globally and locally.
Okay, so that's the last one is the re-innovate.
Yes.
Okay, and how do you go about tracking actually?
So this year itself, we have just launched FedEx Sustainability Insights. So it's available in US, and then here in EMEA, Asia Pacific, our Middle East, and Africa region. Yes. So what that does is it's free of charge first. First thing we know is that just like you key in and you want to track, this flight, how much. Now we make it available to our customer at a package level and your account level. So you actually track your emission standards, what goes along with your package.
Okay.
I think that's important as consumers make decisions, businesses make decisions, and that's the insight we want to provide to our customers.
Okay. So when you provide these insights, though, I'm just very curious. Are customers in Malaysia, are they concerned? Are they really concerned?
Well, I think if you give them an option, they do.
Okay.
When you make it available, the understanding is there. Right. I think generally we will try to choose the more green option. I think that's the consumer mindset, right? That's how we make decisions. Normally, if you don't see it, you don't know. But once you make it available, that encourages enrichment to the understanding of sustainability.
Right, it's very true, right? Now that I know, I have the option to be a little bit more greener, I will. But before, I have no way of tracking, so I don't know.
Yes.
Okay. How does FedEx ensure the integration of sustainability into decision-making processes at all levels?
So just now I shared about the 3 steps, right? And that's the key. So all our processes that we go through that 3 steps, whether we can reduce, and replace, and then re-innovate. But closer to home here, right? I start with the little things that can make a difference, building that culture and sustainability. So the little thing counts. For example, I'm getting rid of name cards. We go NFC, right? So it's just this little small steps that we need to incorporate into the way everyone thinks in FedEx Malaysia. Right. And globally, I think that's the approach that we are taking.
With thousands of employees, it makes a difference.
It makes a difference. Right? It definitely makes a difference. And it's actually these little things that employee notice, because when you talk about the aircraft, all those, not everyone interacts with it every day. But this kind of small actions that we take as leaders within the company, it becomes very clear to the employees what all this is about.
Okay. So there's the little things, right? Can you share a little bit more about your initiatives in Malaysia? You talked about the EV vehicles, right? So what are the future plans regarding EVs in Malaysia?
So for FedEx Malaysia, the EVs is the first step, and then there's other ground supporting equipment. So we're phasing out all the forklifts that use diesel, right? As a logistics company, you have forklifts inside the warehouse. Right. Traditionally, it's always easier to use the diesel powered forklift, but we're migrating away. By end of this year, we have another 5, forklifts that are electric powered. So replacing that. And the journey for us started before this actually. In 2019, for example, our Johor facility has already solar powered. So it's about 15 to 18% of our consumption in Johor is actually powered by solar. So all these infrastructures would be part of the process to make sure that we are more sustainable in our Malaysia operations.
Right, and of course under Priority Earth, that's in 2040. So all these transitions have to be made slowly. And you forget, right? Like FedEx is such a huge organization. You've got your planes, you've got your warehouse, you've got your forklifts, you've got your vehicles as well. Okay, how do you, and you gave a very good example about how else you engage with your customers and stakeholders to encourage sustainable behaviors and choices in shipping and logistics?
So one of the things, let's go back to packaging first. So over the years, if you receive a package, normally you see it, we break the seal once and then it seems like it cannot be reused. So one of the steps that we want to make it connectable with our customers is really changing the packaging. There's another second seal now on our FedEx Large Pack. Why is that important? It itself shows that our commitment to let you recycle this packaging, right? So that's the step forward, and it's really working with our customers, understanding your supply chain. This is how we evolve together.
Right.
So that's the best example I can give of that small detail again.
Right.
Relooking at our packaging, and then really providing that opportunity for customers to reuse.
Right. Okay. So packaging, your name cards, and I guess when you look at the maybe just explaining the supply chain, right? From a package that arrives on the plane and all that. So your steps are. You are looking at all the little touch points and trying to make changes along the way.
Yes, I think that's reviewing the process and seeing where we can reduce or replace. So the forklift example I gave you is actually replacing, because we noticed that we were still using diesel-powered forklift, and we will replace it. And then one-use plastics where we can reduce. And incidentally, I remember one of the learnings we had was to encourage recycling. We had to remove dustbins within the office. So this was a study we conducted. And then a group of students actually we brought in shared with us that you have too many dustbins and people are not walking to use the recycle bins because you make it too convenient. Then was an eye-opener for me and my team. I was like, oh, this is a problem. And we don't see it, right? So these little things count towards that achieving sustainability.
Right. Okay. So again, sometimes it takes like young students to tell you this, right? So by removing more the rubbish bins, they're actually making a point to go to the recycling.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's so easy.
Correct.
No need to think. So given the global environmental challenges like climate change and resource depletion, right? How else does FedEx envision its role in driving positive change on a broader scale?
So one of the key things, the EV that I shared earlier, right? By 2030, all vehicles purchased would be 100% EV. So that's the FedEx commitment, right? That all our vehicles purchased will be electric. Same goes with our aircraft. I think those already lead by example, where we are focusing both on the ground as an aviation industry, where we hope to drive everyone to come on board with us as part of IATA Net Zero, right? You can look it up. This is we working together as part of IATA member to also modernize the aircraft, get sustainable aviation fuel, and that's where we stand as a global transportation company.
Right, and I think it's not so easy, right? You say 2030 to try to be, completely EV vehicles and all that, right? It's not. It's great. You've got to put a goal. You've got to put a deadline, right, to do this. But I'm sure there will be challenges in every country, right? I know maybe in Malaysia it'd be easier, it'd be tougher for other countries. But it's interesting until we set a deadline. Then we can work effectively together. So what other initiatives or programs does FedEx have in place to support local communities in environmental and social sustainability?
So for us, this year itself as our 30th celebration, being here, we wanted to give back to the community. And we always have been giving back to the community. You look at our Global Citizenship Report and part of FedEx Cares in Malaysia this year, my team, as part of, they came up with the idea, we want to do tree planting. And from Penang, all the way in the KL team as well, the Johor team, right? They went out, we planted 100 trees. This is for them, the fun activity they wanted, and it's coming from them.
Okay.
So they really wanted to do that. And then another one's partnering with an NGO for urban farming, right? To help help ensure the needies get sustainable urban farming solutions, and that's what we have done.
Right.
I'm quite proud to say from our initiative, we won the CSR Award Malaysia this year.
Right.
And that's really testament to my team's commitment to the community we operate in.
All right. So it's not so much connected back to your business, but what the team wants to do.
No, the business itself is always about the community, right? So FedEx is about connecting the world, making the world a smaller place. And the team chose to give back to the community. So we always look for projects that help the community. And in this case, the Malaysia itself, how can we support the Malaysia community? And we told the team, get a free hand. What do you want to do?
Right.
And this is what they came back that they want to do. And that's very good. That resonates. That means what we've been preaching and saying, they also want to do the same thing.
Right. And every year it can be something different.
Generally, it stays within that team of giving back. But exactly what they can choose. I mean, there are things we do with education side of things, right? But for this year, this is what they chose to do, and I'm very proud of it.
Okay, so anyway, you came on as the head of FedEx for Malaysia this year, 30th anniversary. What are your visions and plans as the head of FedEx Malaysia?
What are my visions and plans? I think just continue to support the Malaysia businesses to go international and global. There's a lot more to tap into. Our solutions, our digital solutions, so really there to provide paperless transaction. Okay. So in line with sustainability, we want to be at the forefront of helping customers go more digital, right? The whole custom clearance process and everything. And that's what I believe is our vision to help our customers connect globally.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. I've been speaking to Woon Tien-Long, the FedEx Managing Director. And of course, this has been The Shift. I'm Frida Liu.